Bricktopian.
Hello everyone, it's Bricktopian here and welcome back to another video. In today's video I will be taking a look at the LEGO Japanese Red Maple Bonsai Tree set. It is a Botanicals set and it is new for 2025. It costs a total of $54.99 in the UK. It will earn you 440 insiders points. It has 474 pieces. It is set number 10348 and it is an 18 plus set. For the sake of this video, I am going to show it next to the other Bonsai Tree set that LEGO released, which was £45 instead of $55 and was released, I believe, in, was it 2021? It was released a few years back. And I really enjoyed the build of this new set. I thought it had some really fun things about it. I did enjoy the snot building techniques of adding these curved slopes and plate and everything to create the trunk of the tree. I also thought that it was a good choice that they did this in the light tan, as the real version of this is a mix of colours that would be somewhere in between light tan and very, very light grey. Unfortunately, LEGO don't do a grey that would be close enough, so that does mean that these Technic ball joint elements that are actually in the tree do stand out somewhat, and I do wish that they could have been in light tan to match the rest of the trunk, but I understand why they didn't do that, because I know that Technic elements are in the chosen colours for a specific reason, and that's to do with the structure and strength of the actual pieces, because they need to be stronger than regular LEGO elements, as they have to allow for movement. But the base of this was really good to do as well. I love like the mossy bit using that lime green. I thought that was nice. They also use these unusual pieces. I can't remember what they're called, but they're like these little tiny elements like this. If you can see they're like these little crowny shaped pieces. I don't remember what they're exactly called, but they're like they used sometimes to represent food and different things. I thought they were really good, like in that olive green color. I love the use of these Technic tube pieces that are curved as well. I thought that was really good part usage there. And then you got these relatively new bricks here, which are like these quarter domes, and they're just like attached sideways, and they really like make this feel submerged into the mossy base. And then there's just a ton of 1x1 green, light green studs as well as of some round 2x2 lime green plate in there. And the pot itself is pretty fun. It's in this really dark green colour. I do think I would have preferred if it was black to match a lot of the other display sets, such as the other bonsai tree that you can see back there. But I feel like this was probably still a fairly good choice compared to some of the alternatives that they could have picked. So I'm not going to complain too much about that colour choice. The leaves themselves look so good, and these smaller elements here, which you can probably just about see here, are actually new, I believe, to this set. They're like a smaller size one. When I first saw this set, I thought that I didn't even notice that they were a separate piece. I thought on bits like this, I thought it was a dual molded colour of leaf, but I realised it's actually a small leaf on top. So you get three different colour leaves in this set. You get the red, you get the redishy orange colour, and then you get a slightly more regular orange colour as well. And I feel like all three colours look really good, and I liked how it slowly transitions as you go higher up into just purely red, and it's like light at the bottom. I thought that was really clever and made it feel more organic. So I'm really glad they did that. And yeah, I couldn't have recommended a better colour for LEGO to do this in that would be accurate. I feel like it just looks really cool. And I love all these big leaf elements. It makes it feel not quite as fiddly or tedious when the leaf elements are bigger. Whereas, as opposed to this bonsai tree set, which it felt very fiddly because of all them small pieces. And yeah, like I say, the grey is the bit that bugs me the most because it does stand out quite a lot, unfortunately. but you don't notice it too much at certain angles. I think it's more close up. Further back, you don't really notice it so much. The angles they got for the branches of the tree I thought were really good as well. Like they like twist them at these different angles, and you use like the ball joints to good effect, I feel. But the question is this worth the price? Because it's not very high in piece count, but I feel like it's got quite a lot of mass to it, even though the piece count's quite low, because there's quite a lot of big pieces here, especially the leaves themselves. And the build experience was enjoyable, although quite repetitive, although that seems to be the case for a lot of botanical sets I found. But I would say it's definitely more enjoyable to build than the other Bonsai Tree set. But it's £10. Yes, like I say, it's £10 more than the other Bonsai Tree. But I feel like even though the piece count is actually lower for this set than the other one, because I think the other one was like 700 and something pieces. But you have to take into account the fact that the other set literally has a ton of 1x1 round tiles that are literally used to fill the pot in. Like literally, they fill this pot in with a load of these 1x1 tiles, which is just insane. So you can't exactly count that when you go by the piece count of these two. And obviously you can see that one is a lot higher, the new one. It's a lot taller. It's got a bigger area it covers. And I feel like this set as well, the older one, dedicates a lot of the pieces to this brown like stand it's on. And I feel like that I do like that they've included that, and it does make it feel more realistic, but that is quite a big chunk of the build, believe it or not. And I feel like that they could have reduced the price of this this bonsai tree to even less if they just had just this bit. Like they could have maybe like knocked like £5 to £10 off of it. And I would say that overall I prefer the brown of the trunk of this bonsai to the new one, but I feel like the shape of the new one is definitely more interesting. And they're, like I said, they're both repetitive, but this one is even more repetitive. You do get a ton of the pink frogs, which is a nice, interesting part usage, but it doesn't stop this older set feeling super repetitive. And obviously you noticed I don't have this in the green form that you might expect, but that's because I definitely prefer the pink version, and I haven't really even built it as the green version. I think if this was the green version, then the other new one would be way ahead of this one, in my opinion. But it's debatable which one of these I prefer overall. It's very close to pick. You feel free to let me know what your thoughts are, which one you prefer. But there is some really good things about this one, like these pieces here. But yeah, honestly, there's not a lot else I really need to say on this other than that I'm really glad they made this. I've really got into the botanical sets lately. I think that the 18 plus botanicals are really so good, and they honestly have got better, I think, over time and more varied. And I also love some of the other ones they did recently, like the red plum blossom one, which was the cheaper one. And I hope to get the happy plants one as well. But yeah, I just think they're a great line of sets, and I think that this one, will, just like a lot of the others, will be really popular. And I can see a lot of people waiting for this to go on sale, which is fair enough because they do seem to put these on sale quite often on Amazon. I notice that they're reduced, and you'll see them like £10 off or something. So I'm not gonna say go out and get it straight away because you might be better off waiting, but it's still not that bad compared to what the value I originally thought, because I originally thought it was going to be a lot smaller than it looks in person. But yeah, anyway, I don't really need to say that else, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, share and subscribe for more videos, and see you again in the next one. Goodbye.